I'm Dave Mercer.
I'm Matt Pangrac.
Welcome to the CULL, a weekly sport fishing debate show. And this week, I'm going to change it all up in honor of Angler of the Year, Panger. I mean, Jacob Wheeler won his second Angler of the Year at the Pro Bass Tour, and Brandon Palaniuk won his second Angler of the Year. Two incredible Angler of the Years with bright, bright futures. I mean, most people would be happy to accomplish what they've accomplished already. But my question to you, it's not a keeper call this week. It's straight up. They both have two Angler of the Year titles. Which one of those anglers is going to retire with more Angler of the Year titles?
This is impossible to answer this question, Dave, because in order to win an Angler of the Year, you have to possess such a unique combination of skill, talent, grit, drive, dedication, determination, ability to make the most out of bad situations, because every Angler of the Year is faced with bad situations. And both of these guys have done that so remarkably well over the past decade of their careers. If my feet were on the fire, it seems to me like Jacob Wheeler, the competition and the titles drive him. Now, this just could be because of the cinematography in Brandon Palaniuk's YouTube videos, but knowing him, Palaniuk seems to have passions. Catching bass is a passion for him. The sport is a passion for him. Passing that generation, elk hunting is a passion for him. Experiencing nature, his family, he seems to be more multi-dimensional. And that's nothing against Jacob Wheeler. But I look at Jacob Wheeler more as like a Michael Jordan type laser focus, where titles and accomplishments are the only reason that he is there, more so than the overall experience. And because of that, I think that might give him the edge for an extra Angler of the Year or two. I think it might be like 5 to 6 when it's all said and done. Wow. Just that number you threw out there, that's an amazing. Did I go too deep into that?
I don't think so. And I don't know that there's a right answer or wrong answer. I mean, literally, no matter where you are on this, you're wrong until the future tells us. But I will say this. Yes, Brandon Palaniuk has a lot of moving pieces around him.
Yeah.
But the one thing I know about him, when he first started, shooting the tournaments and making sure it was all documented, was 2017. And I remember that beginning of that season, I literally said to him, "Are you sure you want to do this? Because it's a lot of distractions and everything." Well, he won Angler of the Year in 17 and obviously won it again this year. It seems like the more distractions and the more things that are around him, the more chaos, the more he gets laser focused. I mean, he is just incredibly, but it's really literally, there's so many variables. I mean,
have you seen Wheeler on a championship day, Dave?
Have you seen Palaniuk on a championship day? I mean, it's the same. It's like the same dude. I mean, literally, if you look at them both, it's almost like, Wheeler is more heads on, we're here to battle. And Palaniuk kind of does it with a little bit more of a smile, I guess. But the fact that we're having this disagreement or argument or debate just shows how incredible both of them are. I mean, I will say
my answer and say they'll tie and Jordan Lee will have more when it's all said and done.
Really? Do you believe that?
I think there's about 4 or 5 of them that are going to battle it out for the next.
There's a bunch of them. And I think we can't.
Listen, you can't
dismiss it without thinking about what's coming. Like, look, year after year. I said
5 fish, or, because Palaniuk doesn't have any every fish counts Angler of the Years. Wheeler doesn't have any 5 fish Angler of the Years. The only guy who's vying for both, if you really want to throw a monkey wrench into this scenario, is Michael Neal. He just won back-to-back. He's got 2 on the pro circuit, but where does that rank then? And he's also been in the top 10 in the BPT and the Angler of the Year. But
Cox,
between those
two,
it is right. The more chaos that surrounds Palaniuk, the better he performs. The more stress he puts himself under, the more he comes through in the clutch. Look what he did this year with what happened at AOY, and then going to the final and then not catching a fish until the last part of that day. And then boom, he came out and when his back was up against the wall, he performed. But Wheeler seems to always perform. He wins every round. He's at the top of every single one. He is way more, in my opinion, more machine. And Palaniuk is more nature.
So which wins, though? I mean, when you think about it, I mean, so the person.
Well, my gut said Wheeler gets one more just based on cutthroat.
So you're going Wheeler. Well,
no, because then you just pointed out that when you get a bear in the corner, a bear in the back of a den, he comes out and attacks.
Yeah. And has his whole life, just like Wheeler. Like, you know, everybody talks about the wrestling stuff. You look at his wrestling history and some of the stories that surround that. It's amazing. And I will say, it's pretty cool to, like, I can't wait. I wish you could tell the future. You know what I mean? Like, there was a time where people were standing around saying, you know, like Kevin, Skeet, Ike, you know, and then Edwin came and different, all these names. Well, those names we mentioned, those are two of the biggest names in the future of this sport.
So here's where you have to go, Dave. You have to say, where is there a hole in one of their games that might allow the other guy to get one up on them? You see what I'm saying? Where is there a chink in the armor where the other guy might be able to grind out an extra one because of an additional skill set that he has? And I'm sitting here thinking about the wins and how they've won it. We're talking Demiki rigging, punching, spinning rods, top waters, crankbaits. I don't think either of them has a weakness.
How is Wheeler in Florida? I know Palaniuk's, but he's getting better there. Like, Florida's kind of with both of them, I'd say that's if there is a weakness, but they both seem to be figuring it out. And
I don't think one has a leg up on the other one in any aspect. Forward facing sonar, 360, that type of stuff. They're both very adept at electronics, multiple species. Would you give the edge in spotted bass to Jacob Wheeler? Would you give the edge in grind fest to Jacob Wheeler growing up in Indiana?
I don't know, man. But I give the edge to Palaniuk in smallmouth derbies. You know what I mean? I know Wheeler's won some, but if you put those two head to head and you pick the fisheries, I mean, here's the best part about this, if you ask me. I don't know that either of us has a
sight
answer.
Fishing. Is Wheeler better at Palaniuk at sight fishing? Is Palaniuk a noted sight fisherman? I know he's done some sight fishing, but I feel like Wheeler's won doing that, specifically on the smallmouth too this past year. But is Wheeler, would that be a slight advantage maybe to Wheeler?
Yeah, but is that sight fishing like the St. Lawrence River when every single one is on the bed? I mean,
just with the schedules, you got a lot of derbies where that comes into play.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
But I would have to give the swim bait edge to Palaniuk then. The big bite edge definitely goes to Palaniuk then.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
the ability to freak show.
I don't know who it is. I don't have a pick. But here's the best part. We get to watch it. And literally, the more that people compare them.
You have to pick. You can't.
Okay, well, I got to go Palaniuk then. I got to go Palaniuk. Sorry, Wheeler. I got to go Palaniuk. Okay, just because you picked Wheeler, so I got to go Palaniuk. But here's the best part, dude. This debate is going to continue happening amongst pros, and the more Jacob Wheeler wins, and the more Brandon Palaniuk wins, the more people will want to see them clash, and the more of those battles we have. I just think it's exciting for me as a fan because that just is going to drive them to compete against each other. Because at some point, Jacob Wheeler is going to get tired of saying, yeah, but you didn't beat so-and-so and you haven't won this. And at some point, Palaniuk's going to get tired of that too. And they're going to come back together. I mean, it's like history repeating itself. Remember when we used to sit around and say,
it's inevitable that they'll be button heads again.
The more they win, the closer it drives them back together.
They should have a tournament where it's like the top from everyone. They could call it like the TTBC.
Yeah.
Down in Texas.
That'd be a good one. Yeah. It would. Wait a second. History repeating itself again. They did that. Top 15 from everything. From the PAA, from the elites, and from FLW. And it still didn't settle anything. People will argue forever, but that's why we brought up this topic. Let us know what you think. Who's going to get more meat in the freezer when their career's done? Palaniuk or Wheeler?